Good morning and buenos dias. Thank you for joining Supervisor Holly J. Mitchell, Supervisor Hilda L. Solis, Los Angeles County Fire Chief Daryl Osby, and the Los Angeles County Department of Parks and Recreation in our briefing to launch our inaugural Lifeguard Ready training program in South LA and East LA. The Lifeguard Ready training program will provide 360 youth of promise, ages 16 to 24, the support and training, and remove the financial and transportation barriers for youth to build the skills to be an LA County aquatic lifeguard. The Los Angeles County Department of Parks and Recreation is proud to be the largest employer of youth in the county, employing over 800 aquatic staff to serve at our 41 year-round and seasonal summer pools. And in addition, we also hire about 500 youth to work at our parks in the summer. Last year, Los Angeles County and many local and national aquatic programs had a severe lifeguard shortage. With the support and encouragement of Supervisor Mitchell and her staff, we developed this program to build our future aquatic lifeguards. But we set out to do better and to be intentional about the program development, training, and recruitment. We know that Black youth are significantly underrepresented in our lifeguard workforce. And so we built a program specifically to address the barriers to access to LA County lifeguard employment. In this presentation today, you will hear about the program elements, the youth support, which includes a partnership with Metro to provide a free bus pass and transportation, and how we've streamlined the employment application process for youth to become lifeguards. The Lifeguard Ready training program is a much needed example of an equity program that will address a systemic disparity for youth based on race, ethnicity, and income. I want to thank our partners joining the briefing this morning, our community-based organizations, our justice prevention and faith-based organizations, our local schools and colleges, our LA 84's Play Equity Fund, USA Swim, the Los Angeles County Youth Commission, Los Angeles County departments who are joining us as well, who are committed to working with our youth, and all of you, our media partners. And now it is my extreme pleasure to introduce Supervisor Holly J. Mitchell. Supervisor Holly J. Mitchell represents Los Angeles County's 2nd Supervisorial District, which includes the Lamar Park community where she grew up in. As the newest elected member of the Board of Supervisors, she brings over 30 years experience advocating for working families and children and helping to advance equity and justice to this county family. We are proud to have her support and leadership in helping to ensure the diverse communities of the 2nd Supervisorial District have access to the county's Lifeguard Ready training program. Please join me in welcoming Supervisor Mitchell.
Director Garcia Gonzalez, thank you so much for that very generous introduction. And it's a pleasure to be here today for a variety of reasons. First of all, I just have to share on a very personal level, I'm an avid swimmer because my mother was not. And she fully understood kind of the historical issues that led to women, quite frankly, Black women of her generation, that didn't learn to swim, even though she grew up around the corner from the public pool at Exposition Park. Our family home was on 39th and Budlong. And so because she had limited access, she made sure I had access. And going forward, my son, who was a trained lifeguard in Sacramento several years ago, passed the very arduous test, learned to swim even younger than I did because we wanted to break the cycle. But I'm very proud to be here today to announce the inaugural program that will provide an opportunity for Black and Brown youth to become lifeguards. Not only to learn how to swim, which is a life-saving skill, but really recognize that many communities of color, particularly the Black community, have limited access to not only affordable swimming lessons, but also pools, let alone the opportunity to hone their swim skills to the point where they can become professional lifeguards. So I'm very excited about this program and look forward to it being an overwhelming success. This reality, again, persists decades after the desegregation of public schools and contributes to the disproportionately high rates of drowning among Black Americans. I think the first lesson that was important to me as a mother to make sure my son was sensitive to was to really respect the water. And so learning to swim really is a life-saving strategy. That's why the Lifeguard Ready training program is so important, in my opinion. It's about intentionally increasing access and representation in the field of aquatics by removing structural barriers for communities of color. And that's why, and that is what equity looks like in the park and rec field, and particularly with regard to our pools that the county is responsible for. The Lifeguard Ready training program is free. It is a free training and skills building program targeting our high-need communities. It also is an amazing job pathway into the county for young people of color. Again, the intent of the program is to not only equip our youth with the knowledge and skills to become a county lifeguard, but also to inspire more Black and brown youth to build their swim skills and see themselves as future lifeguards. I am really deeply proud to work collaboratively with the Department of Parks and Rec and community partners to reach communities that haven't had these types of opportunities, with the ultimate goal of increasing diversity and access in the field of aquatics. Again, from my perspective, it's about equity, it's about safety, and it's about access to a wonderful opportunity to join the county family as a profession. So again, Director Garcia-Gonzalez, thank you for hearing me, for understanding what a unique opportunity we had before us to really push the envelope and create this kind of unique program to increase our number of Black and brown young people who could enter the field of lifeguard. So they can join Terence and join the county family and see this as a profession. Thank you so much for the opportunity. I'm not going to be able to stay on for the Q&A portion, but I want to make sure that all of our partners understand our goal is to expand access to this information. We're recording this event today, and so we hope people will share it on their own platforms so we can increase the number of people who know about it. And if you have questions of me, you can reach me in my office at area code 213-974-2222. Thank you, Norma. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Supervisor Mitchell, for joining us this morning. I'm looking forward to meeting you at the swimming pool and cheering on our future lifeguards. And
I'll be there.
Yes, and thank you for being a champion for all county residents. Supervisor Hilda Al-Solis was not able to join us this morning, but she has shared a video of encouragement and support for this wonderful program.
Good morning. I'm very enthusiastic to join you today to learn more about our inaugural Lifeguard Ready training and recruitment program that will take place at 3 county year-round pools, Belvedere Aquatic Center in the 1st District and Jesse Owens and Roosevelt Pool in the 2nd District. As former Secretary of Labor to President Barack Obama, creating workforce opportunities for our most vulnerable populations and youth of color is paramount. As part of this effort, recruiting traditional aged youth, homeless youth, emancipated youth, and system-involved youth will be our main focus. Now more than ever, we need to create access to workforce opportunities that create career pathways to family-sustaining jobs, including pipelines to work with the County of Los Angeles. I authored a motion that requested to develop an expanded water-related curriculum, including the wide range of water-related career opportunities from stormwater capture, water quality and quantity, green jobs to river, aquatics, beach, and ocean-related jobs. To that end, I also authorized a motion with Supervisor Sheila Kuehl to create a Care First Jails Last Fund that would intentionally make investments in building a system of care that, as an example, will create opportunities through workforce development, like the Parks and Recreation Lifeguard Ready training as an alternative to incarceration. Early career exploration through county, community, and school partnerships are an important way forward in empowering youth to overcome longstanding inequities faced by communities of color. That is why this program is specifically outreaching to the Departments of Probation and Child and Family Services. By leveraging and coordinating existing resources to prepare young people for careers, all of us here today are committed to social equity and working together to diversify our county's aquatics workforce. Today's training launch is about intentionally structuring opportunities and working across public and private sectors to support an agenda of racial equity and inclusion. The invitation today is for all of us to join in a commitment to equity by engaging and supporting our Black and brown youth to take part in the Lifeguard Ready training program. Together, we need to get the word out. Thank you so much.
And thank you, Supervisor Solis. For all our partners joining us today, we have two champions that are supporting our youth and ensuring that we are breaking those barriers to lifeguards employment in LA County pools. So I'm very excited and very honored to work for both Supervisor Holly J. Mitchell and Supervisor Al Hilda Solis. At this time, I'm also very excited to have our next speaker join us. As soon as we asked if he would speak today, he said, yes, I am in. And he is always in because he is committed to our youth. He is committed to diversity. He is committed to making sure our youth and children are safe in our pools, but that we also create career ladders to lifeguard professions and aquatic professions. Let me introduce today LA County's County Fire Chief Daryl L. Osby. He serves as the 9th Fire Chief of the Los Angeles County Department of Fire. With an education in business and executive management and a progressive outlook towards the future, Fire Chief Daryl Osby strives to ensure the department maintains its acclaimed reputation through continual sharing of best practices with fellow fire agencies, as well as creating an inclusive work environment representative of the communities that we serve. As a head of one of the largest emergency services agencies in the world, Los Angeles County Fire Chief Daryl Osby oversees the delivery of fire suppression and life safety services to more than 4.1 million residents and commercial businesses in 59 cities along 72 miles of coastline and all the unincorporated areas within the county's 2,300 square miles. Chief Osby is a strong advocate for youth, as I mentioned. Thank you, Chief Osby, for joining us this morning.
All right, thank you, Norma. Thank you for that introduction. Thanks for having me, and also my applause to Supervisor Solis and Holly Mitchell. I'm extremely excited to be here this morning to speak about this program, the Lifeguard Ready Training Program. So I think it's amazing that I can partner with my counterpart from Parks and Rec to start to talk about this program. The fact of the matter is that I am the first African-American fire chief of the Los Angeles County Fire Department that's been in existence for over a century. And if it wasn't for programs like this, I wouldn't be employed and I wouldn't be sitting here. So it's just very exciting that I can partner with somebody and then share my experiences and my beliefs as it relates to mentoring. As it pertains to the lifeguard program, I also oversee the largest ocean lifeguard program in the world. Our lifeguard program in Los Angeles was formed in 1914, and we employ almost 800 lifeguards. And so from my perspective, if there's young individuals that start their career as a lifeguard for the Parks and Recs, I can see that as an opportunity to bridge their aspects and their training and their experiences over to the Los Angeles County Fire Department Ocean Lifeguard. As a firefighter, as a fire chief, our primary mission is the protection of life and property. As we talk about this particular topic, as it pertains to saving lives, I see myself partnering with you to give people jobs, to give people career paths, to give them money, to give them benefits, to give them hope, to better their lives, to better their communities. As a fire chief, several years ago, when I looked at our lifeguard program and I tried to initiate and encourage more diversity in the lifeguard, and I first want to start off by saying I have an amazing, dedicated workforce of people, but it wasn't very diverse. And many lifeguards that came into our program lived in beach cities. And as you know, probably the beach cities along Los Angeles County aren't as diverse as the entire county. So several years ago, in partnering with the Board of Supervisors, we started a section of our department to increase recruitment and diversity, and we called it CORDI. And CORDI means Community Outreach, Recruitment, Diversity, and Inclusion. So we started going into the inner city pools and parks to try to do outreach to get youth to be encouraged to become lifeguards for the Los Angeles County Fire Department. This program that we're talking about today, the Lifeguard Ready Training Program, is just an expansion of that. And I am confident that we will be able to collectively inspire, encourage, and commit our youth in the County of Los Angeles to find a career in Parks and Recs, find a career in the Los Angeles County Fire Department. If they don't decide to work in the County of Los Angeles, if nothing else, they become productive, contributing citizens of our community. Just a brief overview of the lifeguard program for the Los Angeles County Fire Department. I can break it down into 4 areas. Our lifeguards are, number one, their primary responsibility is emergency response. They do thousands of rescues a year. As a matter of fact, last year we had over 60 million visitors to the beaches in Los Angeles County with over 16,000 rescues. So it's always an honor for me to go to our Medal of Valor Award every year to see some of the valiant efforts that our lifeguards did in saving lives. Our second aspect of what they do is prevention, as we do a lot of education to our beachgoers to try to help them about rip currents and things to avoid when they visit the beach, to make sure that they have a wonderful visit to the ocean. Next is special programs. What I'm most proud of, as what our lifeguards did last year, was their assistance in relation to COVID-19. They assisted the department, they assisted the County of Los Angeles as it relates to all the logistics for supplies for COVID-19 for the County of Los Angeles. Excuse me. We initiated the first 30 testing sites for COVID-19 in relation to public health. We did testing for COVID-19, and then we helped with the homeless initiative. So those are some of the special programs that they do. In addition to that, we also have an educational program and a mentoring program for our youth to try to encourage young people throughout the County of Los Angeles to become ocean lifeguards. In conclusion, I will say this: I am thoroughly and totally committed to this program. The Los Angeles County Fire Department has a website. You can go to 2 different locations on our website. One is at fire-recruitment at fire.lacounty.gov to find out about any job that we are offering in our department. Second, you can go to fire.lacounty.gov and learn about becoming a lifeguard. You can click on our lifeguard link. And then last but not least, just to plug out to the universe, particularly the youth in this program, you might want to consider a career in the fire service. Many of the pool lifeguards or our ocean lifeguards eventually become fire suppression aides. Those are elite wildland firefighting people that you see in wildfires. Or next year, we plan on having another firefighter exam, and you can bridge over to become a firefighter, because once you're a member of the LA County Fire Department or employment pool, it's the promotional process to join the Los Angeles County Fire Department. In conclusion, I will say this, and I feel that Norma feels the same way, the Supervisor Solis and Holly Mitchell feel the same way. Each and every day I come to work, I'm excited about what I do. I have a very noble mission as it pertains to being the fire chief of the Los Angeles County Fire Department, protecting lives and saving lives. But as it pertains to this particular topic, I have a pen on my desk I look at every single day when I come to work, and it simply says this: I made a difference. I made a difference. And I know that this program, with the youth efforts, because for our youth that will be involved in this, I want to let them know that we're giving you an opportunity. We want you to take advantage of this opportunity, but it won't be easy. But partnering with the Los Angeles County Fire Department, Parks and Recs, we will help you in making a difference in your lives and the lives of the citizens of Los Angeles County. Thank you for joining. I'm very excited to be a part of this initiative.
Thank you, Chief Osby, and thank you for your commitment, your department's commitment, and this partnership to create a career ladder from South LA and East LA to the fire department. This is so exciting, and I know that the diversity and the strength of our mutual programs will grow because of all of the commitment of our community-based organizations, the board of supervisors support to invest in our most vulnerable youth and create these opportunities for them. I'm so grateful that we are partnering on this program together. And now I'd like to introduce and have Joseph Goss, which I call Joe, our Aquatics Director for the Los Angeles County Department of Parks and Recreation, share a little bit about the program elements and the youth supports that we have to offer. Before that, I just want to mention that Joe Goss is an expert in his field. Joe Goss oversees our 41 swimming pools, 18 splash pads, and as I've mentioned before, over 800 aquatics employees. He is responsible for also providing over 15,000 youth with a 2-week Learn to Swim program, one of the largest in Los Angeles County. Our pools welcome over 750,000 visits annually. And so Joe has an enormous task, but his commitment is to making sure that our pools are safe, that our lifeguards are well trained, and he has been the architect of the Lifeguard Ready training program. Joe, please share with us about what you've developed and what we have in store for our youth.
Good morning, everyone. First, I'd like to thank Supervisor Mitchell, Supervisor Solis, Chief Osby, all of our community partners, and anyone and everyone in the future that's involved with this Lifeguard Ready training program. You know, the LA County Department of Parks and Rec has one of the largest municipal aquatic sections in the United States. Like Norma mentioned, we have over 750,000 people come through our doors every year. And it's a huge undertaking to staff these facilities. We have facilities from as far south as Long Beach, up through the Antelope Valley, over to the Ventura County line. We have 2 new facilities coming on board in the San Gabriel Valley. Recruitment, training, and retention is huge. It's a struggle every single year. And this program is designed to encourage youth throughout our Supervisorial District 1 and Supervisorial District 2 to participate in the program. Can everybody see the presentation? I'm not seeing it on my screen. Oh, there we go. We can go to the next slide. And this training is designed so that we could recruit children and young adults ages 16 to 24 into our programs. The program is designed to take individuals that may not have the skills necessary to immediately pass our recruitment swim training test, but to help develop them, provide them with the skills necessary to eventually get to the point where they could get in and pass that prerequisite swim that the county has for all lifeguard cadets. The training program is designed for BIPOC youth, and it's a 6-week, 12-session training that's going to bring individuals in and essentially start them off with introduce them to the water, introducing them to the fundamental swim strokes, and then developing those swim strokes and getting them to a point where they can make that swim. The class is going to be offered at 3 different LA County facilities, and we're looking to have up to 360 youth involved. Next slide, please. As I stated earlier, you know, staffing these pools is challenging, but the County of Los Angeles Department of Parks and Rec is committed to a diverse workforce, and selecting these facilities in our very busy South Central and East Los Angeles region, very, very hard and challenging to staff those facilities, because it's just like Supervisor Mitchell was stating, it's not a career path that many youth in those communities look towards, but it's our goal to reach out to those youth and to break down every barrier possible to ensure that they have access to those facilities and we're eliminating any of the possible challenges, providing them with all the equipment necessary, swimsuits, swim caps, transportation, anything that they need to be successful, the department is providing. The individuals that come to this program and make it through the 6-week training session will be given the 500-yard swim test on that last training day. The individuals that pass that swim test will immediately be brought into one of our gymnasiums or our pool facility buildings, and our human resources department will be there to start processing them in as lifeguard cadets. Once they are processed in as a lifeguard cadet, they can go right into our new lifeguard training program, and it is a paid position from that point forward. The individuals that don't quite make that 500-yard swim, we're immediately going to enroll them in our next training program. They'll have priority registration. And our goal is to provide these kids and work with them and provide them every available opportunity to grow and develop those skills so that they can and will become LA County pool lifeguards. Next slide. Trainings themselves will be taking place on Mondays and Wednesdays at Jesse Owens Pool and Belvedere Pool, and on Tuesdays and Thursdays at Roosevelt Pool. The participants that are interested in registering for those programs can go to the County of Los Angeles Department of Parks and Recreation's ActiveNet portal. The website address will be on all the marketing material. When the participants register, what they'll do is select the swimming pool that they wish to participate in. The 3 facilities will be on a drop-down menu. And when the individual is registered, they'll be given a questionnaire to fill out to give us a better understanding of who they are, a brief history of their background, so that we could assign them to a program mentor who will then contact them and have conversations. The participants that are registered will receive a phone call from LA County Lifeguard staff and provide them with all the necessary information moving forward so they know what facility to show up to, when to be there, and what the expectations are for all the participants in the program. Individuals with basic skills in one area, then individuals where we're doing stroke development and refinement in the second, in another portion of the pool. And then the individuals that have the skills necessary will be working on stroke development and refining so that they can get their prerequisites sometime down so they can hit that 10-minute and 30-second requirement for the 500-yard swim. We'll also be providing some general first aid, CPR, and AED training so that when they go into our lifeguard recruitment, the new guard recruitment training, they have those skills up and they have a leg up on the rest of the candidates that are in that process. So we can go to the next slide, please. So as I mentioned previously, every participant that comes in is going to be assigned a program mentor. These mentors are there to give encouragement, to have discussions with the candidates, to assist the candidates in any way possible so that we can help ensure their success. After every training, those mentors are going to give phone calls or talk to the candidates on the pool deck, tell them what they need additional training on, where we could meet them for one-on-one training sessions at the pool, and just ensure that we're doing everything we can to guarantee success for the candidates that are in the program. Any participant that signs up for the program, again, is going to be provided all of the equipment necessary for the training itself. Additionally, the individuals that are in the program will be allowed access to any of our 5 year-round aquatic facilities so that they can work on their skill development and training at any time that we're open to the general public. So again, they can go to any of our facilities: Castaic, San Fernando, Belvedere, Jesse Owens, and Roosevelt Swimming Pool at any time that we're open to the public during their training session to ensure that they have water access and can get the skills necessary to pass. Again, we're doing everything that we can to break down the barriers. Each candidate is going to expect to receive approximately $700 in items for the training itself so that they don't need to provide anything. They need to come into the training ready to learn, motivated to learn, and we'll do the rest to help them out. So this training. We're excited about this training. It's something that my staff has been working very hard on. We are going to do everything that we can to ensure its success. And again, we thank every community partner that's on this call today, because without you, it wouldn't be successful. So that kind of wraps up the general information session on the program. What I'd like to do now is introduce to you one of our permanent employees. Terence Green began his career with the County of Los Angeles as a locker room attendant, which is the entry-level position for the aquatic section. He's worked from that locker room attendant position to becoming a swimming pool lifeguard and a senior lifeguard, and is now a permanent employee, and he works in our South Central area. He's worked at Athens Park, Campanella Park, Mona Park, and he currently oversees Jesse Owens Aquatic Center, which is a very busy facility. And everyone in the community knows Terry. He is a fixture, and we are so happy to have him. He is a positive example for the community. Everybody knows him. So without further ado, I'll introduce Terry, and I thank you for your time.
Good morning, everyone. Thanks for allowing me to be here. I'm Terence Green. For the past 11 years, I've been a pool manager at Jesse Owens Park. I've been an employee at the park since 2002. I'm what you might call a pool rat. I grew up in Compton, and to stay out of trouble, I would spend hours at the swimming pool at Campanella Pool. Campanella Pool was my safe haven. I took my first swim lessons at 6 years old, and I was hooked. I've been on the swim team, diving team, and I love recreation swimming. And unfortunately, I have been given the opportunity to spend time to turn something I love, passionate, onto a lifelong career. Moving from locker attendant, eventually moving it into management, and then responsible for the programs at Jesse Owens Pool. Lifeguarding and swimming are my passion. I love teaching swim lessons, aerobics, and coaching swim team for the kids. There's nothing better than seeing the kid overcome the fear of swimming, moving on to being a part of the LA 84 and trying out for the Lifeguard Ready program and passing. Little do they know, so many lanes will be open for them: aquatics, fire department, and beach lifeguards, even the EMTs. As you can tell, I'm a big cheerleader for swimming and lifeguard program. Just ask my children, all my children have been part of the swim team. What would I tell someone who's thinking about joining this program? I say dive in. We're here to make sure you're safe, skilled, and succeed, and encouragement. Thank you.
Thank you, Terry. What Terry also didn't mention is Terry was recently on vacation, and every time Terry is on vacation, LA County Parks and Recreation braces itself because we will get lots of calls from the patrons about where is Terry. And so Terry has not only made a career from growing up in Compton, growing up in our communities, learning to swim at our county pools, but it's now a positive influence, helping to shape and support and providing that community, care and touch and nature, nurturing to our youth, our seniors, and our families at Jesse Owens Pool. So a career in county parks is also about contributing to community. It's about touching community and lifting up community. And Terry, we're so honored to have you as part of our team. And we hope that with this new Lifeguard Ready training, we can replicate many Terrys throughout our park system and pool system. So to all of the partners that have joined us today, today's briefing is our call to partnership and a collective call to action to ensure that we provide opportunities like someone provided Terry for youth to participate in this program. You've heard from Supervisor Mitchell, you've heard from Supervisor Solis, and you've heard from Fire Chief Osby and the importance of creating not just opportunities to become lifeguards for summer jobs at county pools, but the opportunities to create career ladders to the fire department, to become a beach lifeguard. And also, I want to mention that LA County Parks also has a lake lifeguard section. And so this is an opportunity to enrich the youth's lives, but also provide a diversity, intentionality in our recruitment, so that as a young youth of color is taking a swim lesson, he or she can look at themselves in the faces of our lifeguards providing those lessons. So many times we hear how personal, an invitation was, and how a personal invitation made the difference for a youth to sign up for a program. We hear that constantly. And so we've invited all of our community-based organizations from South LA and East LA, our departments, and we are asking you to be our partner to make that personal contact with their youth and say, you should apply for this program. This will be a great opportunity for you. You will have the support. And once they apply, our department is ready to provide the care, the nurture, the support, and build the skills so our youth can be successful. Thank you for this partnership. And at this point, I'd like to introduce Mercy Santoro, our Deputy Director for LA County Parks and Recreation. She oversees our recreation and senior program for our entire department and has been a strong champion of this program. And she will handle and moderate our Q&A. Mercy.
Thank you, Norma, and thank you for this opportunity to moderate a discussion on a career pathway that I started out at. I wanted to be, Chief Osby, you'll appreciate this. I wanted to be a Coast Guard. I wanted to be a member of the Coast Guard. That was my dream growing up. And I swam as a teenager, and I know, like Terence and others, it kept me out of trouble because I was always in the pool. And I grew up in the city of Rialto, and my first job was as a lifeguard and swim instructor in the city of Rialto, in the community that I lived in. I had a chance and an opportunity to work in. So this program resonates with me personally because it's a story that I lived. And while I'm no longer in the life-saving field, it was a career pathway for me. And I jumped into recreation and began doing recreation programs after my first summer in the city of Rialto, and grew in my profession and actually stayed in the city of Rialto for 11 years, moving from lifeguard into various other positions and eventually a full-time position. So that is, this opportunity, this youth pathway is so important that we as servant leaders of young people really take advantage of, because all the resources are certainly here, from the mentors to the opportunity to the commitment from our elected officials to really work to diversify our workforce and create this incredible opportunity. So panelists, we have questions coming in, and I want to remind those that are on the call to please put your questions in the chat box. We'd love to hear from you and hear your input and ideas around this program and ways we can extend our engagement efforts, because our first session, as Joe shared, begins September 27th. So that's just about less than 3 weeks away. So we're hitting the ground running. Norma, I'd like to direct this question to you. We run an after-school program at many LAUSD and charter high schools. If we could get a group of teens out of school with a pool, could the training be done at a school?
And thank you for that. At this time, we want to encourage all of the youth in your program to apply for this program at LA County. We've actually worked for several months to develop this program, to develop the mentoring and support, all of the equipment, uniforms needed, as we've mentioned, bus passes. There's been a tremendous amount of resources, but we'd like to partner with you, our schools, and our community-based organizations to get your youth into our program. And if we have to develop opportunities for programs to help with transportation, we would be happy to do so. And I know that this is our inaugural pilot program. We've been getting lots of calls, and why not? Why isn't it happening in Antelope Valley or in the San Gabriel Valley? We really want to target, and I want to mention, this program was specifically targeted in South LA and East LA, because as Joe mentioned several times, we have the hardest time recruiting for lifeguards here. And this is where we want to make the deep investment, also to ensure that we diversify those that are in our lifeguard workforce. And so we're making the intentional investment in those most vulnerable communities where we need our lifeguards. And so, but we want to, as we expand this program, we'll look at opportunities to expand our partnerships.
Thank you, Norma. Another question that people are asking about is an individual from Color the Water. They have several BIPOC surfers who are interested in this program, but unfortunately, many of them are currently under 16 years. So Joe, maybe you can talk about, I mean, the question is, can they apply? And then if that's not possible, what are some other alternatives, Joe, that you might recommend, or Chief Osby, for these young people? Joe?
So the program itself is designed for 16 and over, because at age 16, entering them into the program at age 16 will make them 17 at the time of hiring for next summer, which is the minimum requirement for the County of Los Angeles. So the youth are welcome to apply, but priority registration will be given to individuals 16 and over. And that ensures that they are of the appropriate age when our summer starts next season, and they are at that 17 years of age.
Okay.
And I can respond to that too, so thank you. The Los Angeles County Fire Department, we have a junior lifeguard program that was geared just for this type of program that we're talking about now, to diversify the lifeguards. So our junior lifeguard program is for ages 9 to 17. And so they teach the youth about ocean awareness and swimming and those other types of skills. And the program normally starts right after the school year, the latter part of May or the 1st of June. So you can go to the Los Angeles County Fire Department website at fire.lacounty.gov and look under lifeguards and find out about the program. And if for some reason you can't afford the program, we also have a foundation that we sponsor scholarships for underprivileged youth that are challenged economically. So we're happy to accommodate any kid that can't start the pool program with Parks and Recs.
And
Thank you, Chief
Mercy,
Osby.
Mercy, I will just share, we have a mirror program to the fire department at our lakes. And so at our recreation lakes, we have also a junior lifeguard program in our lakes, where we also, it's mirroring the fire department. So for those youth that can't make it to the coastal communities, we offer this program at Castaic in the North County, Santa Fe Dam in the East County, and Benelli Park. And so we work very closely with youth so that anyone interested in the youth can go to a fire department program or in LA County during the summer.
All right.
Great. Norma, I want to just come back to you just briefly on this, because we have so many youth serving organizations on this call, from schools to colleges and so forth. Do you want to mention anything about, as they prepare their young people and they turn to that ripe age of 16, are there youth at work or other opportunities that you want to make sure that they're aware of as well too?
So I will say that while we want to focus today's session in regards to our Lifeguard Ready training program, we have, as Joe mentioned, just all of the goodies that they're going to receive. It's about a $700 program that is going to be free, in addition to the transportation pass, in addition to the access pass to our pools, in addition to all of the lifeguard support and mentorship, the support. And so I just want to mention that there's 360 slots. Our youth, each session will accommodate about 120 youth. And I want to mention the importance when I started up the recreation rank, and it was someone that said to me, I think, this will be a good job for you. I started as an at-risk youth in a youth program at the age of 16 at my local park. And someone asked me to apply for that position. If that person would have never asked me to apply for that position, I wouldn't be here as a director, as the first woman of color, the first woman and the first person of color as a director. And so the intentionality, that one-on-one, giving that child or that youth that confidence and saying, we think that you would be good for this program. And that's why we wanted to have this briefing. Specifically, I know that we have over 50 community-based organizations that have joined us today. That is why we're having this briefing today, to ask you. We're doing a lot of the social media outreach, but we want you to really go into and work with our communities to identify and make that personal connection with our youth to apply for this program.
Right, that's one of the most important invitations right now. Is really, we want to make sure that all of you, the attendees on this talk today, engage your youth, get them to this program, help us with what we need to do to get your young people to this program. Put your information and recommendations too in the chat box. We'd love to hear it. Couple more questions. Joe, you want to just remind us, what are the 3 pools again that this program is offered at?
In East Los Angeles, we have Belvedere Aquatic Center, and in South Los Angeles, we have Roosevelt Pool and Jesse Owens Pool.
Okay, thank you for that. And then, do kids need to live in South or East LA, Norma, in order to participate in this program?
They do not, but I will say that, we are targeting South and East LA, as I mentioned. And so we also want to make sure that we're targeting youth of color into this program. And we want to make sure this program is really designed to remove the structural barriers, and income is definitely one of them. I didn't learn how to swim. And maybe I should be taking adult swimming lessons, but I know that one of the reasons that I didn't learn how to swim was because how expensive swimming lessons were. And so this program is really designed to remove those barriers for the most vulnerable youth to consider, to develop a relationship with water, get into the water and build the skill set. Now, and so we are going to prioritize that vulnerable youth of color from South and East Los Angeles. And I do want to say we want to expand this program, but it's not an absolute requirement, but we will prioritize youth from South and East Los Angeles.
Norma, thank you for that. Chief Osby, we have a lot of people on this call that are, obviously most of them or all of them serve youth as leaders, and mentoring them into careers is critical. You talked a lot about different opportunities that this program can be a pathway to in the public safety fire department. Can you talk a little bit more specifically about the skills that you see young people will develop as a result of participating in this program that might assist them with school and other goals?
Yeah, thank you for that question. I really think that the Lifeguard Ready training program will really help our youth with developing the fundamental skills and knowledge they need to start a career. And so they all learn about commitment, how to work as a team, how to have competent skills in relation to, if they want to be a lifeguard in the fire department, to start at Parks and Recs to learn those water skills at parks. They'll learn about, first aid, which our lifeguards later have to be EMTs or even paramedics. I just believe that this is a great stepping stone to become an ocean lifeguard or firefighter, or even if they don't decide to become an employee of the county, they'll just have these life skills as far as, having self-confidence, the communication skills, dedication, the ability that somebody cares about them, that they can start an initiative and complete something that will make them better citizens in our community. So I'm just very excited about this program, very excited to partner in this program, and I'm confident that whomever participates, they will be a better person for this.
Thank you, Chief Osby. Terence, we want to hear from you in terms of what advice would you give a young person who's interested in this opportunity, doesn't swim a lot, has a lot of reservations? What would you say to that young person?
You have to give a lot of encouragement. I would tell them, to, understand that, even in lifeguarding, you here to save lives. We save lives, and that's big. A lot of excitement about, that helping people. But it would have to be a lot of encouragement, because when you're doing trainings, for some reason everybody, you have to push them to get through the training. So I would encourage them first, and I would give them the understanding that we're here to save lives, and that's what we're about. Helping folks and helping the community, and we're still, we're lifesavers. So they just have to be enthused about it. And
okay, it's one of the things that providing the additional support to ensure that all the participants are successful comes two ways that you all talked about. One was mentorship, and certainly providing a lot of all the supplies and equipment. Another was transportation. And I want to kind of ask each one of you a different perspective on this. But Norma, what if a young person can't get to practice? What precautions do we have in place to help kids get to these practices?
That's a great question, Mercy. So we talked about, we are working, and I just want to give a significant, huge shout out with Metro, that we are working with Metro to secure bus passes for our youth. But we know just handing a youth a bus pass is not removing all of the barriers. So our aquatic team is prepared to develop a transportation plan for our youth. And that means actually sitting down, mapping out where their home is or their location from school is, and what other routes that they can take using public transportation to access one of the closest pools to them. And also identifying the times. So what we've also included as part of the package for our youth, for those that will be taking public transportation, is we're going to give them all a duffel bag. So if you're like me, we have 100 bags walking. We want to make sure that all of their aquatic equipment can fit into that one, the one bag, so that they're not carrying a lot. But we, really working with them. And I want to mention the mentorship is very, very important. And this is what Terence will be doing. He talked a little bit about, providing that purpose and that encouragement. But our kids, sometimes we don't all have great days. We don't all have great. Sometimes my kids strike out when they're on the plate. And so as supportive adults, we need to make sure and say, we're here to help. How can I help you? And so the uniqueness about this program, it's not a free for all. It's about it's not just an instructor that's going to provide a class. And then if they gain the skills, if they don't gain the skills, but we are actually going to work with each individual. Our ultimate goal is that all of those kids that are registered in the program actually, and I think I appreciate what Joe is mentioning. So we, working on having that one-on-one coach in the water, but then also having that mentor outside of the water, so that if things are happening in the home, things are happening at school, things are happening in their lives, that we can help try to find and bridge supportive services with county. And that's why many of the county departments will also be partners with us to help support youth so that they can be successful in this program.
Thank you, Norma. Chief Osby, we talked about, or Supervisor Solis mentioned it, that this program is designed for youth 16 to 24. These youth may be transitional age youth. They may be in foster care. They might be systems involved. They might be homeless. There's a number of circumstances. And they may not be great swimmers coming in, but they have a passion. And that passion is what this program is about. Talk to us a little bit about how you see the importance of bringing all kids, especially kids with these backgrounds that we're trying to serve, will benefit from a program like this.
Yeah, well, thank you for that question. And actually, just looking at me, I'm a beneficiary of this type of program. I grew up in San Diego, but I grew up in a community that's just like East Los Angeles or South LA. So I'm a beneficiary of Parks and Recs and the library getting behind me and having mentoring programs and pushing somebody. And I recognize that as the fire chief, from coming from a community like that life is hard and it's going to be challenging, and we're going to help our youth through those challenges. And if they fall, they're going to fall forward, and we're going to help them up, dust them up, and keep them moving forward. I've been involved with programs like this my entire career. I've been in the fire department for almost 38 years. So we've worked with kids that almost they were gangbangers or at-risk youth. We have a lot of youth programs ourselves in the fire department. That's why I'm really great and happy to really partner with Norma. And we've provided wraparound services, not just for the skills that they need to have personal professional skills for a job, but if they need wraparound services as far as gang intervention or mentoring as far as how to be a young adult or mental health or social services, we'll provide those skill sets too. And we work very hard at that. And I can just tell you that I can, from experience, that when I see our youth become lifeguards, or I put badges on youth that 4 or 5 years ago, I didn't know where they were going to be, or in one instance, one person was homeless, that it brings tears to my eyes. I mean, I have to bite my tongue in public to make sure I don't cry, to know that a program like this, that we're talking about today, saved a youth's life, made a significant difference in their lives, and we know that they're going to pay it forward. So I'm very excited about this. I'm very confident that at any situation for any youth that we have, that we can make a positive difference in their life.
That's a powerful way to close out this briefing session on what the Lifeguard Ready training program is about. Thank you, Chief Osby. Thank you, Joe Goss. Thank you, Terence Green and Norma Garcia, for your commitment and leadership to LA County youth and making a difference. I want to remind everybody that registration for this program opens up today at noon. Please visit parks.lacounty.gov Lifeguard Ready Training. That website has details on how to register. We'll remind you about the pool locations, training times, and all the pertinent information you need. And we will be offering youth information sessions with the first one coming up for schools. So if you're a school on this call, it's coming up on September 13th at 12:30 and another one on September 15th at 6 p.m. We will be in contact with you as an attendee today to keep you posted on when these trainings are. We'll send you materials on the Lifeguard Ready training to promote it to your youth organizations. We can certainly do presentations to your youth organizations as well too, to address any questions and to really support our young people and you in helping us extend this invitation today to have a collective impact in LA County in diversifying our lifeguard workforce in our fire department, in our Parks and Recreation department, and across our county. Thank you again for attending today. Please be in contact with us if you have any questions. And again, thank you for the commitment of all of our presenters and Supervisor Mitchell and Solis.
All right, thank you.
Thank you all.